Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Equestria at War, where we are going to be launching our invasion of Equestria itself today, with appropriate music, of course, because, again, seeing as all of these get demonetized anyways, there is no reason not to. I feel as if YouTube has somewhat undermined its own position in so doing, but hey, who am I to complain about YouTube's stupidity, huh? Not at all, not at all. Remember, though, many donations are important for poor little demonetized Arch. Very, very important. So, what exactly have we got here then? I've waited until January 1013, where we will be commencing Plan Alicorn Sunset. The time to regain our lost honor is finally coming. The Changelings will take their rightful place as the overlords of Equus. All that stands in our way to glory is Equestria and its foolish Alicorn princess. We will prove to the world that they are not deities, but pathetic mortals. The twilight of the gods is about to begin, and their demise will be quick. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. So, you can absolutely rush Equestria down, by the way, if you so choose to do so, as Equestria initially will have an enormous economic base and an even huger manpower pool, but it will have dick all in the way of an actual army. So if you attack very early, you're basically going to be fighting like a 6-month war, and if you haven't won by the end of that 6 months, you're dead. You're just screwed, as they will simply just roll right over you. But I'm the kind of guy who likes to invade the Soviet Union in 1942, okay? Because I want myself a fight. So we waited a little bit, yes. You're of course going to have to be fighting the Crystal Empire at the same time. You're also going to be needing to be fighting the Commonwealth of New Maryland, England, basically, and eventually also Stalingrad. So this is basically a war against America, England, and the Soviet Union, all at the same time. Oh boy. Meanwhile, on the other continent, our friend, the Griffonian Empire, are having a blast, this time not under the command of their rightful queen, Strawberry, but under this dodgy-looking old fart. I don't like him. Archon Eros. Yeah, I don't like him at all. I definitely think that the invasion of the Griffonian Empire is looking more and more likely, though they are eating their neighbors rather quickly, so I'll give them that. And Piccolini has not declared war on them yet, which is good for Piccolini, as if you do, I will try to help you, Piccolini, but be aware, I'm going to be quite busy for an extended amount of time. Meanwhile, in Africa, absolutely nothing is happening, as per usual. There's just not a lot of cool stuff going on in Africa, honestly. Like, the only nation here that looks kind of cool is, oh god, have they been murdered already? The Chiropetras. The servants, oh yeah, they're already dead, aren't they? Yeah, I think they're dead already. But anyways, these Chiropetra, they are basically the servants of Nightmare Moon, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Like, the Nightmare Moon Equestria could be a cool thing to do, if you dirty fetishists want even more ponies in the future. Right, as for the Changeling armies, we have the Oberkommando der Heer, which is of course going to be the main command center, under which is the 1st Panzerarmee, which will be our main striking force, with a pretty hefty number of panzer divisions here. 8 panzer divisions, leaning heavy in on the medium armor. We're gonna need some surrounds early on to stay alive. We're really gonna need some surrounds early on. I do eventually want to upgrade these to use more magical weaponry as well, but frankly, I'm desperately trying to keep up with my production needs as it is, rather than worrying about even more magical rifles right now, so oof. Then we have the 1st Heeresgruppe under the command of this adorable creature whose portrait I wish I could blow up because, God, she's got the eyes. She's got the eyes. Good girl. Good girl. I hope it's a girl. If it's not a girl, well, shit. The second Hausgruppe, under the command of nowhere near as interesting looking person, the Abwehrkommando, and of course the Brandenburgers, who will eventually be replaced with the Queen's Guard once I can adequately reform them, as right now their elite status is not to be questioned, but their value on the front line most assuredly is. And to the north we have Armeegruppe Nord, with the Schutzgruppe, our little militia forces. Their job is just going to be to guard my ass against the bears, because I remembered also now that the bears do betray you eventually, so little bit worried about the bears. Little bit worried about the bears. Little bit worried. And we are going to have the third Heeresgruppe under construction as we begin the preparations to commence the war against Equestria. We do also have a navy, of course, which is doing alright, honestly. Like, with the stuff we got from Millennia, we do have a decent amount of stuff here. Now, the stuff we got from Millennia is old as all hell, but a battleship is a battleship, I guess. And we also have 3 carriers from our collaboration with, what was her name? Rakina, I think? Rakina, yes, they'll be under command of her, of course. Decent amount of destroyers, decent amount of cruisers, decent amount of heavies, and we are starting construction on modern destroyers, but we don't really have the production capabilities to keep that going just yet. Other preparations, we're of course building radar stations. We've finished building a logistical supply network up to level, I think, 4 or 5, and starting trucks, of course. As for an air force, we have a reserve of 400 fighters, 200 bombers currently in training, almost done. A further 500 bombers on the front line, and about 1,100 odd fighters, most of which are of the new pattern. We should have a decent technological advantage, although not as huge as if we'd rushed it, of course. Bit worried about all of the fortification on the equestrian border, particularly as, of course, we also have a massive river in our way, but we'll see. Ebenezer, $16.90 for $2. When my D&D with Sargon return, please? No firm plans at the moment. It is a theoretical possibility, but that is all it is for now. And the Horsenator, Britain makes me upset. Britain makes the British upset. Everyone's upset with Britain. It's just how it is. Now, before the war begins, we do have some focal points to carry out, like Plan Alicorn Sunset. And this is also intended to, I think... Is it lead the armies that triggers it? I think it might be lead the army that triggers it, where Equestria will get 100 days for warning of the offensive, where all of their usual restrictions will be removed, and they get to just go ham with their ridiculously massive industrial base. Swedish pagans. Sabaton. I wonder if I can get away with just playing straight up Sabaton. I really do wonder if I can get away with that. See, what I'm worried about is that they don't... See, the copyright claim... I don't care about the copyright claim. The copyright claim is largely irrelevant, you know? It's the company going like, hey, that's ours. Like, meh, okay, fine. It's the copyright strikes I don't like. And I do think Sabaton had a reputation for not being particularly understanding when it came to that stuff, so... Right, we're getting some heavy tanks up and running. That will be very useful in the future. And an Air Force department. That will be very valuable. We're probably going to need Navy and Army departments as well. It might be a strike, yes, because at least with the Night Corps versions, I only get claims, which, like, again, like I care. Land fort, coastal fort, construction speed plus 10%. You know, that's not terrible. Do I have anything buildy related? Yes, that one. Yes, I want more tires. Thank you very much. Well, YouTube doesn't actually care. See, YouTube doesn't actually have a copyright system. This is one of those interesting things, you see. YouTube doesn't give a fig's fuck about copyright. It doesn't care. It has absolutely unironically no interest in copyright protecting anyone but itself. The people who care are the actual copyright holders who will set up things like copyright bots to scan for these things, trying to find them and then either claim them or strike them. Overwhelming majority of the time it is just a claim because, well, frankly, the copyright strikes are not actually necessarily legal, you see. See, that's the thing. You're not actually allowed to, K4, Jesus, we're going K4, we'll name this one Gunfox too. As he donated a very generous $300 last time, so he deserves to be named after an aircraft. See, issuing a copyright strike, if you don't actually have the rights to do so, is actually illegal. Not that anybody cares, mind you, but you're not actually supposed to be doing that. The problem is that everybody just kind of does it anyway, that being, sort of the issue. We are going to want extra fuel tanks. We are going to want drop tanks. 1,302. Can I double up on the... Weight exceeds thrust. Darn it. With 2 engines, could I? I could. That would give me another 300 kilometers. Not really worth it. Not really worth it. Still weight exceeds thrust, huh? So I can't have cannons. Ugh. But why? But why? But why, Daddy? Electronics. I think with direction armor, none of this is particularly worthwhile. Well, the anti-air raid, it only works on intercept. Intercept is fairly pointless, as these, of course, will be running air superiority, not intercept. Non-strategic material usage, I mean tempting, but that minus to air defense I don't like. Right, we'll just go with the usual heavy machine guns then. How many can I... That gives me 37 air attack. 47 air attack. That's a tiny bit too heavy. Right, so that is 10 50 cal machine guns in the wings. Ooh. Okay. I like it. It's a fitting name for the Gunfox right there. Yep, there we go. 10 50 cal machine guns, brilliant. And we'll upgrade those. Rubleg 623, speaking of Sabaton, your thoughts on A Lifetime of War song about the 30 Years' War? It's somewhat haunting when placed next to the horror of World War I. It is. It's a good song. But yes, it's the companies that actually put in place, like, the copyright restrictions. And there's a lot of companies that put in place spurious copyright restrictions, which aren't actually, allowed. Now, normally, if you do this, you would open yourself up to liability. But YouTube doesn't actually allow for that. YouTube allows the copyright holder to potentially sue the YouTuber, but it has no mechanisms for the YouTuber to sue the copyright holder, which is actually sort of mildly annoying, as if they had that, I think that Off-World Industries would probably have received a nasty letter from me already. Railway gun. I want you, but you're probably gonna have to be at the bottom of the priority lists. I'm sorry. I really want you. You're super useful, but my god, my industry is fucking swamped with orders already, so we're gonna have to wait on that for a moment or two. Can I get another level of, okay, I still think that's the, where am I at? Resource gain, what do I need to prioritize right now? Infantry armament? Probably infantry armament, yep. Artemis Fowl, Arch, what do you think of Ukraine rolling over the Russian border and just sideswiping its defenses? I think it's pretty funny, to be honest. Well, it's an interesting situation going on there right now, because they weren't doing particularly hot a little while ago. Now they seem to have regained a bit of the momentum, so, I mean, my prediction is still that the war will go on for at least another 2, probably 3 years, so I hope they can drag it out. So, best of luck to them, honestly. Was this the racing ship? No, this is the big boy battleship, boys. Okay. Armor. Armor is life for the big boy battle boats. Heavy armor. More armor. Armor. Fuck cares about production efficiency retention. Armor. And what are you? Cavalry ships, screens, and submarines. You know, I don't mind the idea of submarines. God, I love Saboteur. I really wish I could get some mine laying going. I do need to get some mine laying going at some point, but
service guarantees citizenship.
It's gonna take me a while. Yeah. God, let's have time. Right, nice. Anything more to upgrade? Yes. United Wing Association. Bombers. Ground attack. Always ground attack. Just keep getting more and more ground attack. There is never enough ground attack. Never, ever. And air defense. Air defense is pretty good too. God, I have been neglecting this. Naval patrol aircraft? Alright. Large airframe. Right, strat bombing then. And club. Oh, don't have much options there.
Heresy's the question.
What the hell are you? You artillery. Okay. Artillery. Breakthrough. I'm tempted by the defense, because the defense is not a bad idea at all, but breakthrough über alles. Breakthrough über alles. And infantry nonsense. Soft attack and breakthrough. And out here, I'll take production and production efficiency. God, still more. Okay. Mechanized nonsense. Right. Defense, max speed. Breakthrough über alles. Hardness, definitely. Hardness is very, very useful. And there we go. We're finally through. Nice. The Holsteiner, how much to play a Nightcore Powerwolf song? I think there's a couple in the list, actually. And Commander Wolf, for all of the Fable's fault, which there are many at the very least, it was a game series with many options. Not well executed, but at least options. Oh no, see, I don't actually dislike Fable. The Fall of Griffinstone, ooh, nice. See, I actually quite like Fable. Fable 1 is a good game. More info in Equestrius. Ooh, what does that do? Whatever it does it? Evaluate the northwestern lands. Interesting. Okay, yeah, do that. By the way, I have so many agents right now. I'm so happy with all of the agents you get. The spying system. I've always liked the idea of the spying system, but there's never been any real, well, use in it, really, because you just don't have enough agents, honestly, to do a lot of cool things. But with the Changelings getting like 6 of the little bastards, you can actually engage in some industrial sabotage and stuff, which is neat. The Fall of Griffinstone, the home of the Imperial Dynasty and the cradle of Griffinkind. Griffinstone has fallen. Wingbardian soldiers had to fight hard to take the city, for it was built on an ancient and sacred tree upon a mountain. This meant only winged infantry could capture it. Their support limited as the attackers did not dare to use artillery, lest they damaged the holy city. The Griffinstonian defenders were bold as they refused to let such a sacred piece be taken without a fight. So the attackers paid with blood for every house and street they took. Nevertheless, they fought on until the neglected royal palace remained where King Guto VI had lived over 40 years ago. Instead of fortifying the palace and continuing the fight, the defenders gave up and surrendered, wishing it to be left alone. I quite enjoyed Fable 1. It has a very nice twist at the end, more correctly, it convinces you that it's the end, and then it goes, haha, psych, I'm gonna keep on going for another 6 hours, which I thought was really cool. I enjoyed Fable 1. But again, compared to what Peter Molyneux promised, see, that's kind of the problem with Peter Molyneux things. He usually promises a lot, and he usually delivers some of what he promises. He delivers the rough outlines of what he was promising you, enough for you to kind of look at it and go like, well, you know, he did do something for me. I guess I can't hate him completely, you know. I'm sure next time he'll deliver everything he promises. Yeah, about that. No, it turns out he isn't. Not next time, not the time after, not the time after that either. He never will, but, you know, he makes you feel good about it as he tricks you a little bit, okay? You know, he has the dignity to tickle you a little bit as he does so, which, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yes, you just gotta go along with it at that point. You just gotta go along with it.
Fire is the answer.
Ooh, there we go, that's the next cannon. I do need to use that to try and make myself some new... Do I want rocket artillery? I kind of do, but I also kind of don't want to... I also feel like I don't really have the industrial capabilities to make use of it, frankly, so... We'll worry about that later, but I do need to make myself an advanced... tank chassis and an advanced medium tank now. Commander Wolf, for all the Fable's fault, Inquisitor Thomas definitely not Skaven. How long till they get nukes, good man? Also, some of your changelings are looking a tad rat-like. They do indeed. They are happy little rat brick creatures. And it's going to be a very long time until I get nukes. On his file, check for Power Wolf Blood for Blood in the playlist. I'm pretty sure it's not there. I don't think I remember putting that one in. I think this is... Isn't this? This is Powerwolf playing right now, I think. Yes. There you go. Here. See, there's some Powerwolf in there. A little bit, a little smattering. Right. Welded armor, obviously. Breakthrough, because I don't give a shit about speed with this thing. Advanced radios. Sloped armor, obviously. A stabilizer. Will I need weapon ammunition storage? Let's see. 6.1 speed is actually more than I need. That gives me a reliability of 51.9%. Yep, we're gonna want wet ammunition storage. Right, Tiger. Is that how you spell that? I don't remember now. What should we name it? Chrysalis? Queen? I kind of like Queen. Chrysalis? Chrysalis. Yes. I like Chrysalis. Also, that is a very weird looking tank. That is much better. There you go. Pretty. Max speed is below 4 kilometers per hour. Well, shit, I thought it was above that. Why did you do this to me? I thought I had it above that. Why did you do this? Okay. There. 4.4. How dare you? 6.6. Not amazing reliability, but, you know, none of the German tanks were particularly reliable, okay? All you need is such a ridiculous goddamn armor rating that the enemy just straight up can't penetrate them. That's what you require. As these will be given out to the Queen's Guard, of course, whenever we need to pound our way through something particularly heavy duty. It's gonna be a while before we've built enough of these, but eventually we'll have enough of them. It's just gonna take a while, yeah. Just gonna take a good long while. Good long while indeed. And something fancier on the medium tank front as well. Adam Attackman, your health is low. Do you have any food or a health potion? But why? 3 pony turret, medium armament, spell blaster. I mean, Emperor medium cannon is better, right? Big boy radio. As much as I would love secondary turrets, they are frankly not very useful, but ammunition storage and smoke launchers or armor skirts. I mean, armor skirts appear to just be straight up better. Or a stabilizer, breakthrough 5. But 3 armor though. Stabilizers, they sound fancier. Now for these guys, we have the exact opposite problem, where we're actually aiming at a speed of 8. And we need a speed of 8. Okay. 59 design points. Well, shit you. Fuck. That's gonna take a while to build that up. Treaty of Buckistan? Was that? What? Okay. Boy, I really don't want to do training right now, but I need to save this thing, so we are going to do it, even if this is really not something that should be doing right now. Okay, we need a radar augmented fire controls, or do we need radar? Radar? That one. No, that one? No, research. Always research. Research is the answer at all times. Come on, fill up faster. I really don't want to do training right now, since the training will, of course, incur losses to my units, and already my production situation is not as good as it really should be. There. Right, Big Boy Panthers. Panther is an appropriate name. The Panther was a brilliant little thing. It really was. Okay, I finally need more steel. Well, the Olenians will take care of that. I can to get more steel. Do I want to get steel right now? Oh, hello. Right, am I producing enough rubber? I am, okay. One more, and whilst I need it, we'll just keep it going with that. Okay, Panzerfausts, support weapons, advanced trucks, half-tracks, Sonderkraftfahrzeug. Panzerfausts would be pretty sweet. Yes, build those.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Rubber leg 623. Funny that Soldier of Heaven came on during the fall of Griffinstone. I know. It's good timing. Right, and let's get open pit mining.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Right, final war preparations. We are getting uncomfortably close. How are my preparations? Not bad. I've got 27 trains. I've got all of the Opel Blitzers I need. We still need to modernize our aircraft, of course, and we do have a lot of artillery and small arms to modernize. Why do I suddenly have 52 plus steel? Oh, wait, did the carriers just complete? Yes, the carriers completed. Okay, nice, nice. Alright. That'll allow me to put a bit more into the destroyers. Lovely. Benjen V unifies India. The last steps to truly bring a shattered Indian subcontinent into the future were taken today, as Benjen V Kudlinin, Jarl of Chittal and staunch economic and political modernizer, was officially coronated as King Benjen I of India. His chief minister Eva Pilal, who came to power as a reluctant compromise candidate between bitter factions, has already begun to set the stage to complete the grand task of the unification of a land ravaged by war. Neither traditionalist Jarldoms or princely federation emerged as the dominant force in the northeast of Zabrika. Instead, free market monarchy reigned in India, and the kind Viking has truly established himself as more than just a weak-willed despot with dreams beyond his comprehension. Well, cool, I guess. I suppose, maybe. The Halcinator, Christ in Combat, We Drink Your Blood, sanctioned with Sensor, Incense, and Iron, and many other hits. Powerwolf is great live too. I'd imagine so. Heavy? No, fast tanks. Okay, fast tanks just need speed. Right, so what is the plan going to be then? Is the aircraft should be done training by now, right? Yes, they are. Okay, lovely. Move another 200 bombers up. We're probably gonna need some intercept, I'm thinking, so keep back 200 fighters and move the other 200 to the front line. Right, so we're going to want a nice big surround, if at all possible, early on. Which I'm probably thinking of going through Acrenage and sweeping alongside the river. And then what? Western Featherfall? What is this song? Oh, yes, I found this playlist recently. I'll boost this a little bit, because I like the sound of this one. Tell me if it's too loud, by the way. And Acumen, has Arch ever talked about winged hussars? I have not, but they did save the West at Vienna, which is pretty cool of them. Let's not go quite as far forward. We should have enough for a fairly solid breakthrough there. It's not ambitious. In fact, I'd say it's rather conservative, really, but I just want a nice, safe opening to the offensive, I think. Something I'm relatively certain I can pull off without any major catastrophes occurring. Yes. And we'll have the Jäger Abwehrkommando and the Brandenburgers take care of closing the pocket. And that will leave me with... where's my infantry reserves? I know I had some reserve infantry. Ah, yes, we have 10 divisions in reserve. Okay, so we can deploy them as required. Tempted of sending one up here, just in case... Yeah, so I think we'll dedicate the 102nd Infantry Division into the Wendigo Forest there, as that can be attacked by 3 areas, which is kind of shitty. Kind of awful, honestly.
Fire is the answer. Beard, actually. I do love this mod. Mind-breaking Celestia into Sunbreaker and going on sun-based genocide is always fun. That is true, you can do that. And RT Gaming 1016. Arch, will you please do a Drukhari Incubus video before GW updates the Dark Eldar for a modern audience? We'll see. Some point after Sabbat. Sabbat is still going to keep going for a good old while. Right, how's my supply situation? Good enough, actually. Right, so the first objective will be seize that. Then we're probably going to need to do a little bit of another offensive over here to take White Bell, seize that, take that. And probably Vancouver and Salt Lake City. God, these names. Fairly early on, otherwise my supply network is probably going to start collapsing, which would be unfortunate. And I don't actually need you as much as I thought I would, so we can put you down on the priority list. 494 anti-tank guns in reserve. Good, good. 7,000 magic rifles. Not bad either. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Panzers. Mein little Panzer. Mein Panzerkinder. If I make you a magic motorized infantry, that will require 800. Okay, nice. I can do that. 2,400 in total. Alright, let's do it. So that will replace the small arms issued to half of my motorized units with the Panzer divisions with magical weapons. See, the magical weapons are basically small arms, except better in every way, but they require crystals to produce. And I think they're like twice as expensive or something. And they can also only be given to like magical infantry units, but they're really, really good. And I don't need to import any more rubber now, so I don't need you, baby. Medium tanks, production now plus 5 or armor? Armor. Armor is king. RT Gaming, thanks Arch. What got me into Warhammer? I'm very happy to hear that. Condolences for the timing, mind you, but still, hey. Field hospitals, definitely. I'm gonna need those before all of this is over. And Stutters, what's the name of this playlist, Arch? It's by some smaller YouTube creator, very tiny. Gothic Melodic Techno. Gothic Melodic Techno, it's called. Very cool, I like it. MP13 battle rifles. Ah, yes. The thing that might just have been able to turn the war around for the old Austrian if he weren't such a stubborn little bitch and going like, what need does my soldiers have of a 30-round magazine with a high rate of fire that would allow one man to hold off a fucking platoon? No, we wouldn't want that. See, Hitler had pretty much the same argument as the Democrats do today, and my response is the same as the Republicans do as well. When 30 Democrats in clan hoods are about to break into your house, a 30-round magazine is not excessive, it is just enough. Changeling equestrian border. It is rumored that Queen Chrysalis is looking far beyond recently crossed Olenian borders. There have been several reports of activation of changeling forces around equestrian border, including airfield construction, field training, tank rallies. Changeling officials inform that these are merely self-defense measures. And that they are worried about looming equestrian invasion, mentioning that Equestria has repeatedly violated borders and forced installed Equestria-friendly government in sovereign countries in the past, Yakistan, regardless of whether it is a good or a reason or not. The whole situation is starting to look troubling. Ponies in border regions are remaining calm, but the rumors of changeling attack is circling around the area. Oh, I would say so, yes, I would. You guys, make sure you're actually maintaining that spy network there, which you haven't been. Of course you haven't been. Why would you Why would you do something useful like that automatically? And orders from the Queen. The Queen has issued the return of the Changeling Griffonian expeditionary mission, including the two commanders, General Thanks and Marshal Sinovia. She believes there is no need for the mission anymore, seeing as how the Changeling efforts would best be directed entirely on Equestria. Does that give me some new leaders? Does it give me some good new leaders? Some solid ones? Nothing standout-ish. And I can see at least. Medium aircraft. Production efficiency gain? Why the hell not? 100 days and everything starts jumping off. Right, we're going to start building fuel bowsers, as we are going to need them if we're going to be operating the Navy effectively and actively, which we are. And speaking of the Navy, we really should be doing some reorganization of it as well. So, we have 3 new carriers. Do they have complements of strikecraft? They do. Lovely. Okay, let's get those training. They will be joining the main force. Whereas these 3 earlier characters, these 3 carriers here, I believe, we're probably going to give over to the scouting elements, which are over here. I have nowhere near enough destroyers and ships and generals to really consider, you know, challenging Equestria right now, but we'll need to just have enough to just kind of like have a little bit of naval effort in these areas. I need to get going on mine layers. That's what I really need to get going on. Right. Mine laying rails. Little light battery, some light cruiser armor. An awful little engine, because it really doesn't need anything more. Yep, that's pretty much all I need. Hey. Egg layer. Yes, yes. That is a form of fetish pornography, yes. Will to power, the Ubermensch, the Predator, that's all kind of awful. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, 3,000 a pop. That's nice and cheap. That's very nice and cheap, actually. Right, let's get some egg layers going. Alright, I'd like probably a solid, like, 9 of them, I'd say. Right, and we'll place those over there. And we'll focus on their construction. Then spotters, then fleet destroyers, then escorts. Boy, I do need more of this. I really kind of do. Right, actually, let's... Okay, yeah. Who you? Yeah, you're the big boy cruisers. Yeah, you're not cruisers. You're the big boy carriers. You're the small ones? Okay, we'll move you over there. And we'll join you together over here. Panzerfaust. Who doesn't like themselves a little Panzerfaust, eh? Night vision would be kind of cute as well, I can't lie. Is there anything I need more pressingly? Probably engineer companies. Extra defense. Extra defense would be nice. Nah, armor breaking. Right. Again, carriers by themselves. You're gonna get to training. And we're gonna need some destroyers peeled off. Oh, what about, like 20 odd maybe?
Yeah, 20 odd would probably be good. Make it 30. We'll leave my fleet a little light on screens, but I think the cruisers will make up for it. Right, we have anybody with good spotting here? Maybe, Craven. You know what? That's actually not a bad one. Controller, superior tactician. Alright. What can I give you? I can give you flight deck manager, that's an obvious yes. And a torpedo bomber, that's an obvious yes. Okay. Brilliant. And you've got fly swatter, you have flight deck manager, you have silent hunter. I mean, that will be great for submarines, but I'm actually going to give this to the Craven Admiral, because all these guys will be doing is basic spotting work. And for basic spotting work, I am entirely fine with them running away whenever there's danger. Right, we'll put you to a third commander as well. Right. That will give me some basic fleet nonsense. Stutters, what's the name? Oh, no. Mechanics on duty, you also got me into MLP Arch. Thanks. You're very welcome. It's modern entertainment at its, well, actually, yeah, kind of unironically finest. See, again, this is why I do actually quite appreciate MLP. For all of its, again, obvious aimed at little girliness, it is at least a show that has a target audience that it attempts to satisfy, instead of current year nonsense, which tries as good and hard as it possibly can to not benefit anyone at all. I would rather have a product not made for me, but made for someone, than a product made for absolutely nobody. So, Ace Generation chance. I mean, I do like the aces, but I feel like they're a little bit too... I don't know. But air superiority mission efficiency plus 15 is just always going to be good, so I'm going to try that one this time. And, do I want... Yeah. A straight up 10% plus armor boost is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. That's... Is there anything I'm lagging behind on? I don't think so. I think I've got most everything I need. And collaborative government is complete. Lovely, 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 lovely. Let's make sure that you guys are actually engaged in building up the supply network, or the spy network, that somehow fell through the last time. And we are evaluating the northern lands, which I don't know if it will be done in time. Right, we'll keep you at 3. I should have enough trucks. Yeah, I'm good on trucks. I feel like I'm going to start running out of small arms. I really do. I don't like how relatively few small arms I have. I do not. Right, that's probably good enough. Then we can start building naval dockyards. Which we're also going to need quite a few of. Nice. Alright. All the preparations are as good as complete. It is time to get ready to toss the dice. Cross the river Rubicon, see what's on the other side. We're going to do that because I'm going to need every bit of factory output I possibly can conceivably get.
Fire is the answer.
Every bit will count. 315 stuff. Can I use that for anything? Military training? Yeah, well, does that cancel when... Don't remember. We'll kick that off now. Any advisors I've got to... No? Nothing? Okay. Docket output, 15% research speed. Do I want to change you out for anything? I do want war economy once I'm at war, so let's save for that. Do I want to replace you with anything? Because 2% plus research isn't necessarily that important. Non-core pony power, 2%. Foreign subversion activities, damage to garrison, minus 25%. Yes, I want green-eyed. To make sure that I am not taking, or that I am taking as little occupation damage as possible. That is going to be very important, as somehow I suspect that Equestria is not going to go quite as quietly as Olenia did. Right, we are going to set up a capture cipher mission. With these two, and we are going to infiltrate the Air Force as well. Giving myself a nice advantage over them early on. So close, so very, very close. Alright, 30 days out. Let's begin placing out the troops. Not going to do any of the organizational or the planning things here because, frankly, I hate the way how it takes so much control away from the player. I am not at all a fan of the way the planning tool works. I like it in theory. I like the idea of the planning tool, but I hate how it's implemented and how it actually functions in action. I feel like it takes too much authority away from the player, and I feel like it actively fights against me, frankly, half the time. I'm not fond of it at all. Right, and if we're going to be breaking through there, let's have some spoiling regions. Like the Brandenburgers over there, for example. And the Abwehrkommando. Also ready to start doing some ruining attacks to push the front line. And the 3rd Heeresgruppe is ready. Lovely. Right, you can begin training. Who will you be under the command of them? Ooh, hello, Field Marshal Sinovel. Hi there. That's an appealing set of stats you've got, sir. Infantry leader, trickster, engineer. That is a nice set of qualifications. Kitu Elder. Right, okay. We are going to give our command to Field Marshal Sinovial because that logistical command is, of course, unfathomably fucking valuable. What else you got? Fortress Buster and Infantry Expert, obviously. That's simple choice. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. Oh boy indeed. Right, keep going for field hospitals. It might seem like I've got a lot of pony power. Trust me, I don't. Believe you me, it's not as good as it looks. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Right, as soon as this war kicks in, God, I still haven't decrypted their stuff. Yeah, I really should have done this already. Yep, I need to start upgrading my cryptology department. I should have done so already. I thought I had their cipher decrypted. I don't. Okay, well, that is going to be a little bit sucky, but not as bad as it could be, so hey. Lead the armies. Alright, so does that kick off immediately? Right, good. Alright, infiltrate Equestria.
The lesson learned from our previous attack on Canterlot have been painful but insightful. During this war, proper reconnaissance of our enemies' industrial and military capacity will not only be beneficial but vital. Our agents can wreak havoc among their ranks, as so far no creature is capable of countering our shape-shifting capabilities. Unlocks a new spy operation. Interesting. I don't know what that does, but we're gonna try that out because that sounds pretty kawaii. Okay, and I'm presuming the war is about to kick off. Ah, there we go. The war is inevitable. Yes, yes it is. The time to act is now, my queen, Hive Marshal Trimmel said. The Hare has worked closely with Vops to analyze the Equestrian defenses. And they are, shall I put it simply, woefully inadequate. We have the soldiers, we have the supplies, and most importantly, we have the willpower to dominate Equestria. All we have to do is storm across the border, give their defenses a solid kick, and the whole rotten structure should come crashing down. Hello there, Nazi Germany. I hope I am not to suffer your same fate. Chrysalis frowned, and her wings gave a little flutter. This was the moment she'd been waiting for ever since the disastrous attack on Canterlot in 1002. She was practically giddy at the chance to have her revenge, but she'd learned lessons from her defeat in Canterlot. It wouldn't do to rush her nation to war before it was ready. Are you sure that we are prepared? We aren't in need of additional preparations. Trimmel resolutely nodded. We are as ready as we ever will be, my queen, he assured her. And now is the time to strike. The longer we wait, the stronger Equestria becomes. They know that war between us is inevitable, and every day they bolster their defenses. An attack can only be readied so much before we see diminishing returns. A defense can be reinforced virtually forever. We must strike now while the iron is hot, or forever miss our chance. Trimmel's argument settled it for the queen. Then we have no choice but to attack, she said. Send out the orders. The hives march to war on my command. Not before. Bit worried by the mass increase in units that they've sent up here now. That does worry me a pinch. Might need to relocate troops over there as well. Right, bombers. So, primarily, we will be doing defensive stuff over here, of course. We will be doing intercept over my islands. And the majority of our forces will be trying to engage over Flanks, which is quite the name, and Featherfale Dale. We'll probably need to concentrate on one of the two. And 100 fighters up there just in case. Right, 100 tactical bombers will be running support there. Another 100 in the borderlands. Whilst the majority, of course, will be heading off for offensive operations. Right, we'll boost it. There, that one. Sadly, I can't afford both. Marksman of 117B, I'd love to see you chat with History Legends about military history. A great channel that covers military endeavors and anti-woke cultural history. That does sound pretty cool. Right, you guys are as ready as you're going to be. We're going to send you back there. You guys are going to be starting patrol activities. And, the war is a go. Oh boy, okie dokie then. Alright, so they're immediately attacking there, but doesn't look like they're getting any ahead. Alright, good. That's a lot of units. Ugh, kinda hate needing to go in there, but let's see. We're gonna do a poke with the panzers and see what, if any, success we are going to have. Now, I'd like to expand upon this breakthrough as soon as possible. And we're going to use Jaegers
to push in to keep the enemy nice and busy. In fact, damn, they're already kicking off the defensive buff, do they? Ooh, damn. Alright, aggressive. Alright, getting through there might be unlikely, depending upon what the Air Force can do for us. Are the carriers back to port yet? Not quite. But in the south, we seem to be getting good progress, right? This will be the main task force. You are going to act as a strike force in these areas. If you see any equestrian shipping, fucking annihilate it. Nice and simple. Your instructions are very obvious. Right, hunt and destroy. Air support mission efficiency. Good, good, good. They're not going to be getting through there anytime soon. And we are smashing through in the south. Brilliant. Okay, we've got our first breakthrough. Excellent. Right. Begin advancing infantry forces. And motorized division. The 73rd, 136th, 142nd, and 50th. We'll be forming the Corps of the Spear. Panzers. Off you go. Now, when you get there, we are going to want to expand our front line a little bit. Now, again, this is the main issue, as I'm not doing poorly, but I'm not advancing with quite the panache I had perhaps hoped for. Right, let's move up the infantry regardless, making the assumption that we are going to get through, as the tanks are doing very, very well. And the aircraft, holy shit. Nice. Air power uber fucking alles, as always. Right, we do have incoming bombers, which I figured we are intercepting them. We don't have anything up here yet. Let's double up on the intercept there, and if they're not going to attack us here, we are going to double down on the bombing as well. Right, anything in the ocean? Yes, we are spotting what appears to be equestrian scout ships. Alright. Continue forward with the Jaegers. I wish to expand upon this holding, if at all possible. Our blonde little pony, General Swiftwing. Isn't she just an adorable little pony-wony or something? Right, yep, we're through. Brilliant. Right, pour in the infantry and get the motorized elements moving. Okay, very nice. The first breakthrough appears to be a complete and unmitigated success. Very, very, very good. Okay, 2 divisions down there. Leave 1 division, leave that division. Right, I apparently should have been more ambitious. I went for a small attack to begin with, fearing that I'd be completely cock-blocked right out the gates, but this is actually looking like it's going very, very, very well. And we managed to nail ourselves a few equestrian ships too. Nice. Now, my fuel production is not looking amazing, I will admit. We might need to worry about that a little bit, depending upon how active my ships are. To be fair, though, we haven't closed the surround just yet, so maybe I shouldn't celebrate. Okay, get in there. Okay, well, those are both attacks are both being checked. Cancel those. No point in taking undue risks. Alright, well, we don't need that. Alright, brilliant. Right, bring back the panzers. Already my supply situation is looking about as strained as I expected it to be, frankly. And with that in mind, let's go for Diamond Flake, whose capture will be a valuable addition to our holding here. Right, who's going where? God, these tiny icons are not exactly cooperative, are they? Alright, there you are. Right, push in there. Okay, so attacking their frontline defenses is obviously not necessarily the most brilliant move, so we are simply going to ignore them for the time being. And instead focus on the areas where we can attack with overwhelming numerical superiority. The polar bears want to join the war, do they? Okay, fine, polar bears, if... I mean, I'm not going to stop you now, am I? Can we snip off a couple more units here, perhaps? Maybe, maybe. Yeah, I was being far too cautious. Silly Arch. Beer Bear Beard says, no, this day, Arya, as you attack Equestria Arch. This day? I don't get the reference. I'm lost and confused. Right, Panzers, you've done well. Let's bring you back out of the front line so as to minimize our usage of supplies and our attrition. Nice little bonus around there. Good, 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 good. Right, crush those as well. Are we getting pushed anywhere? No. Very nice. Perhaps I should have waited longer. Perhaps Equestria was not as ready for me as I was sort of kind of dreading and or hoping a little bit. Right, continue pushing. We're not done just yet. There's quite a few ponies to be subjugated in this pocket of ours. Brandenburgers are doing lovely, lovely. Maschinenpistole. See, I've talked about this on multiple occasions previously, but one of the absurdities, see, we all basically act with the understanding that we have today, right? So we think that we think that people always understood things that we consider to be very, very obvious, right? One of these obvious things is the idea that giving a soldier access to a high-capacity automatic weapon is good, is useful, will make the soldier a better soldier. This, amusingly, was not, however, the commonly held belief during, the majority of human history, straight up. The resistance towards giving soldiers weapons with large magazine capacities, and there were actually quite a few of those available. Long before we got the first, 5-round bolt-action rifles, there were ideas of, things with muskets with magazines and crazy shit like that. One of the big reasons why nobody ever did it was because of the assumption that soldiers could not be trusted with large magazine capabilities. This was one of the main counter-arguments against the general usage of assault rifles in the US military, for example. It was why the British decided to not put in any efforts into submachine guns after the Second World War, whereas pretty much everybody else looked at that and went, wow, this is fucking amazeballs. Let's figure this shit out. Because the idea was that if you gave a soldier the opportunity to fire 30 rounds at a time, then the soldier would just fire 30 rounds at a time, not caring about where those 30 rounds would actually go. In other words, they were worried that the soldiers would simply waste all of their ammunition by just brrrr, and there you go, they were now out of ammo, and it would they'll send 3... Okay, fine. If the Polar Bears wants to send an expeditionary force, then okay. And this would increase the burden on the logistical system without actually making for more, dangerous soldiers, in essence. Now, this was proven to be absolute nonsense again and again and again during Second World War, and yet the lesson still wasn't fully learned at the, during the Cold War. It was the Soviets that convinced the Americans to adopt assault rifles more so than the Americans' own lessons on the matter, as the Soviets, of course, went the exact opposite direction. The Soviets assumed that, okay, people are just going to burn off all of their ammunition. Fair enough. Let's plan for that. Let's, in fact, make a doctrine where that is the intent, where we have mechanized infantry advancing towards the front line, and once they're there, they're going to disembark from their IFVs and APCs and just hold down the trigger, thereby suppressing anything and everything in front of them and keeping the dirty little filthy Americans' heads down. Because the Soviets, of course, knew that that had worked really fucking well against them during the Second World War, when the Germans utilized pretty much the same tactic, but of course with the MG42. Uh-oh. I need to dedicate that bomber again. Right. Go up there. How is the air war going? The air war appears to be going very goddamn well. Okay. Send in another 100 fighters over here. Right. Our first round is complete. Let's have a quick moment to see what exactly happened right there then. So, the attacks are very much so in my favor. I am trading incredibly well. 89 to 2,000 men. That one's acreage was a bit of a harsher one, 1 to 3,000, but 3 to 1 exchanges more or less. Excellent. And the big surround at the end was 250,000 equestrian troops. Very, very good. Okay. The Great War. So in the opening, what? In the opening 16 days, the opening 2 weeks, we've inflicted 381,000 manpower losses. Almost 500,000 men. Ponies, excuse me. On the ponies, losing only 15,000 ourselves. That's a pretty good opening. That is a pretty good opening. And, we're winning the... I had expected the Equestrian Navy to be a lot bigger than this. I had genuinely expected my Navy to actually get its ass fucking pounded in the opening engagement, but so far, quite the opposite. Not that I'm complaining, not that I'm complaining. And how about the air war? So in Featherfall Dale, I have not been challenged at all. Equestria appears to be focusing its efforts on flanks here, where in the last month, let's see, 26 of our fighters have been shot down and 30 bombers against 60 enemy fighters and 2 bombers. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. Okay, looks like they've kind of given up on their bombing efforts. Right, let's make sure we're getting all of our fighters in there then. Bear Beard, I need to actually focus and concentrate every time I see your name. This day, Aria, is the song Chrysalis and Cadence sings during the Changeling episode. It's one of the best MLP songs too. Oh, I remember that one now. So, the MLP actually does have some pretty good songs. It unironically does. As much as I wish to kind of deny it, it really does. Alright, next steps. What are we doing now? I kind of want to head north. Actually, no, next step. The actual next step is I need logistical connections. I need to tie together my network with the enemy's network. That is the immediate priority, so that I can bring stuff up to the railways there. Motorize this, obviously. That is going to be the next big step. Kind of want to head north. So I see two options. We either head south and try to cut off the rest of the mainline equestrian frontline defenses, heading towards Vancouver, or we head north and try to destroy the majority of the Crystal Empire's armies. Alright, chat. I'll let chat decide on that one. I am a busy... Okay. You may not know about this about me, but I am a big fan of musicals. It doesn't... Hold on. Does that fit my character? Chat, does that fit my character? Being a big fan of musicals, does that fit into your perception of Arch? Does it? Because I love musicals. Musicals can be amazingly good. Which is why, again, despite its countless storytelling flaws, I quite enjoyed Has Been Hotel. It was like, okay, this isn't bad. This is actually fairly neat. I like this. It can't tell the story to save its fucking life. The characters are flat and many of them are deeply uninteresting. And the entire moral arc of this is so confused it might as well be a fucking carousel. But they've got songs, and some of them are actually pretty good songs, honestly. And the MLP ones as well. The other one I really liked was the one that the purple one sang, My Big Brother. That one was a good song too. I like that song as well. Yes, really? Really? Huh. Kind of a bit of an autocrat flair. I suppose, yes. Artemis Fowl, yes, you are a woman, Arch. Careful, Buckymus. Careful now, little Bucky. Zero Firewater, Arch Day, is your most profitable gaming streams MLP related? No, yeah, sort of. Like, MLP actually does really well. MLP streams do excellent. My most profitable is still horror, though. Like, the horror ones are very profitable, but I need to... I do need to do a horror game again soon. I do need to do a horror game again soon. I'll do Resident Evil 4, because I was gifted that by little Kibiscus, so I should do it. And while we're doing Resident Evil 4, we'll have chat try to decide on the next horror game. Because apparently chat enjoys horror games. I don't know why. I think I'm terrible at playing horror games, but apparently chat likes it for reasons. Right, north, 66%. All right. Looks like we're heading north then. Very well. That's kind of my preference too, honestly. North seems like a solid decision. Right. Before we head north, let's quickly reorganize. So we've got infantry divisions. Can probably get away with just one infantry division there, two infantry divisions there. Right, so that's there. I wish you didn't move every time I pressed that button, video game. I wish you didn't move every time I pressed that button, video game. And those, okay. Oh, God help me. Why must you be such a difficult little video game? See, already I'm kind of running low on infantry divisions to hold up the front line. See, yeah, that is the problem. You do need a lot of them. Okay, you're not holding anything open, are you? No? Okay. We'll move the Abwehrkommando back, as well as the Brandenburgers. And refocus our armor behind the lines so as to not intervene with the resupply proceedings. Hexy, Arch confirmed gayer than Dev. But why? And Hexy, no, Sujad, super hyper gay. Witcher. But why? Anonymous Foul, you can't threaten me, Arch. You have seen what I have done to Kibbs. You are not far off. I am not wearing socks, now am I? Hell, to be fair, neither is Kibbs. See, you have done nothing to Kibbs, yet. Until I see pictures, I do not believe that you have achieved anything, Buckumus. I believe your victory has been a hollow one. Yes. Am I? Yeah, I'm sending troops down there. Good. Okay, my fuel situation is a little worrying, I will say. Diversify elite forces? What? That's one free special forces branch specialization. It costs $50 to take the... Does that give me a free thingy bob? Nope, it doesn't. It's still a 60 thing. Okay. Do I want special forces or Schwerpunkt? Probably, unless there's something really good here. Special force capacity multiply plus 10. That is pretty good, but... Breakthrough...
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Racial special forces. Yeah, fair enough. Naval Doctrine, Carrier Battle Group, Escort Patrol. Right, reorganization. Bring out the motorized units. Right, so we are going to need some more Jaegers here. Send up another one of the militia forces, as that one is not doing great. Our bombers should be intervening, but actually they're helping over there first. Right, well, if they want to attack up there, that's actually kind of sort of fine, as that is sort of where I'm planning to attack too, so... Right, what's the easiest route to take here? Probably Quebec to Cantelot. It is a longer drive, which is dangerous, but it gives me access to more supplies. Right, 3 panzers to Quebec to Cantelot. 3 other panzers will go up there. God, how am I going to keep that corridor open, though? And a small spoiling offensive down here. These 12 will be used to keep the corridor open. I'll bring 6 over there. And it'll be up to the... I'll have to use the Jaegers. Right. So the Brandenburgers will be carrying out offensives to screw with the enemy. And the Abwehr Kommando will help keep the corridor open. How about my 3rd Heeresgruppe? In dire situations, it can be deployed as reserves if need be, but that will be a dodgy situation if I need to rely on them. Winter Expert. Why not? Why not? I like being a Winter Expert. The Alternator Arch, you have mannerism of Frieza with the flamboyance of the Ginyu Force. Of course you like musicals. I don't know what any of these fucking words mean. I have no idea anymore. Frieza? Frieza? Who the fuck is Frieza? Who is Frieza? I feel like I should remember this name somehow, but I don't. Right, how are we doing? Still beating the shit out of the enemy with a very, very nice exchange there, yes. Oh, 1,000, Jesus, okay. Right, we need to... Oh, okay. They're taking advantage of my relocation to launch some attacks, are they? How very, very cheeky of them. Very cheeky of them, indeed. I'll probably hold them. Okay, I don't think... they're going to be able to drive back... Wait, is that the supply province? No, it isn't. Okay, so I'm fine with you driving me back there. That's not actually the biggest deal ever. I should probably have sent in the holding forces before I started deploying the actual attacking troops. That was not exactly necessarily clever of me. Oh, they're going for a full offensive push, huh? Okay. Well, that's going to cause you a lot more casualties than me at the end of the day, so I'm not actually that unhappy with it. Right. Attack me there. Goddammit. Why must you do this to me now? Why must you do this to me now? Right. If they're gonna do attacking and take more casualties because of it, I might as well try to drag as many of them up northwards as I can. Actually, do I want to hold that province? It does threaten my supply line, so maybe yes. Shit, this has thrown my plans a little bit into disarray. Okay, so the tanks are over there. Okay. Yeah, they're spending a lot of political power, aren't they? Little crazies. A heart-warming miracle. Oh boy, I feel like I know what that's probably gonna be, and I feel like I'm not gonna like it. Gosh darn. Okay, 2 divisions of motorized in there to keep it nice and defended. Cancel that attack, because there's no real massive point in it. A heart-warming miracle. Oh god, you're attacking me up here too now, aren't you, you little shits? Okay, well, forces are returning. Should hold it up. Recently, as pony soldiers on the front prepared to celebrate Hearts-Warming Eve, something strange happened. There have been reports that at one fortified position near the Changeling front line, some ponies climbed over the trench, waving a white flag. Changelings honorably did not open fire and allowed the enemy soldiers to get near. The ponies then invited the Changeling soldiers to celebrate Hearts-Warming Eve with them in No Creature's Land. Surprisingly, some of the Changelings, even a few officers, accepted the offer. As the moon rose, the ponies and Changelings drank cider and hot chocolate milk, sang carols, and even played some hoofball. Soldiers casually chatted with each other, talking of their families and civilian lives, and telling traditional stories. Changelings, of course, did not celebrate pony holidays, but were very curious and seemed to enjoy it. After reports of the incident spread, the High Command on both sides reacted. The Equestrian army used this as a change to show the value of friendship, and that changelings were fighting against their will, using the opportunity to portray Chrysalis and her posse as warmongering tyrants on the other side. The Queen was outraged by this and forbade any knowledge of it to spread, putting the nation's censorship bureau to work. She then ordered capital punishment on every single soldier and officer who had taken part in the treachery. However, some of the changelings managed to desert and escape, being welcomed warmly by equestrian soldiers. They are now prisoners of war, but are treated well. Well, little filthy, dirty shits. This is actually referencing a real event, by the way. There was a brief ceasefire on Christmas Eve between German and, I think, British? Were the French forces as well? That was a bit of a miracle. There's a beautiful movie about this called Jux Noël or something like that. I think it's a French movie. It's a beautiful movie that I highly recommend, by the way. And yeah, it ended about as poorly for them as well. Neither side liked it at all. Both sides absolutely despised it, in fact. And the commands issued orders to deploy snipers onto the front lines, so that any further attempts of such silliness would be punished, as the snipers, of course, had orders to shoot anyone who showed themselves. The snipers also were not attached to the units, of course, so they could engage and there would be no consequences. They didn't have to live in the front lines. So when they shot a person, even if the dudes on the front line wanted to maintain the truce, the sniper would kill an enemy and then return to his billet at the rear, whilst the dudes at the front would then, of course, face reprisal attacks by the people on the other side who thought that they had violated the truce. Yeah. It turns out that the warring sides really did actually want to just fight a war. That was what they wanted. They wanted war. That was what they wanted, that's what they got. That spoiling attack has really upset my front line. I don't like it. And has allowed the enemy to draw a lot of shit in front of me. Which I'm not appreciative of. The offensives are, yeah, see, the Equestrian manpower reserves are beginning to tell, as just the sheer amount of their counterattacks are telling. How can I get through here, then? So many divisions. I gotta try and throw them off somehow. Where could I attack? The northern offensive is definitely grinding to a little bit of a halt here, as I'm struggling to find a good opening to go through. Unless they manage to batter themselves so bloody that they provide me with a opportunity to get through their front lines. I really don't want to attack that far north either, though. I am covering this with the Air Force, am I? Yes, I am. Good. I mean, they're taking more casualties than I am doing this, so I suppose an option would be to simply hunker down and see if they weaken, but they are going to start breaking through in the far north. Right. The Jaegers have pushed through. That's going to draw some attention northwards. How am I doing in the ocean? Have I suffered a massive defeat yet? No. The Equestrian Navy appears to continue to simply be feeding me their ships. Oh, well, there you go. I lost 10 destroyers there. Yeah. That was one of my scout forces completely annihilated, unfortunately. I suppose that was a question of time, in essence. 2,000! Jesus! Alright, I apparently need to be switching over a lot more fighters into this region, don't I? Alright, yeah, let's get fighters repopulated up there. Jesus Christ. 2,000 enemy fighters. Hey. How is my fighter production actually keeping up with all of this? Any fighter reserves that I can deploy? I'd be honestly a little bit shocked and surprised. Alright, but they aren't bombing me, so let's put those forward. 850. 850 old patterns. Let's bring online another 400. I am trading very well, but numbers are a big part of air warfare, a huge part. let's see if we can get a little bit of motion here, maybe. Crossing the river, but I should be able to break through. But so is the enemy apparently now. Goddammit. I'm kind of tempted to let them, and then perhaps try to cut them off from the rear. Yeah, let's get them in, let's let them get in there a little bit. Okay, you are going to need supporting forces. Now the radio intercept group is done. Good. Right, let's see. 2 motorized divisions. And we're just gonna pick away at them, slowly but surely. How's the situation down here? Solid. Holding still. How's the situation in the north? Growing a bit hazardous. Slowly but surely, more and more so. Right, peel off another unit of militia forces to reinforce it. Tempted to bring in the Jaegers. Yes, let us do that. 4 Jaeger divisions there. Another 4 Jaeger divisions there. The offensive towards the north will continue, even if bloody slowly. Piece by piece, chipping away at them. Right, that is one move through. There might there be an opportunity here? Might there be? There mightn't be. There might be. Yes, there did. Yes, I think there is, actually. Okay, move those up. Get the motorized forces to start crossing over. And have the tanks follow as soon as they can. Tanks. Good. Alright, these will be drawing the majority of the Equestrians' attention as General Coltrop Decoy. You'd think that he would spot a decoy when he was put in front of it, but luckily he has not so far. Jaegers, my boys. Can you get across the river in the face of like 2 armored divisions? Probably not. Christ. At least I'm not being penetrated easily by their units. That's nice. That's good. That's what I was hoping would work. Fuck. How are there so many of them? Right. Another 4 divisions of motorized to help out over here. And I am spotting what appears to be potentially, maybe, possibly a little itsy bitsy witsy of a weakness. Let's see if it is. Is that outside of... no, it is still in aircraft range. Right, okay, how am I doing? I'm still outnumbered 2-1, but I'm shooting down them 2-1 as well, so good. As long as my industrial capacity is not completely overmatched, I should be able to maintain that for a very, very long time. Temptation to start building forts on the front line is almost overwhelming. Yeah, damn it. They are actually going to be able to block me from getting through there, aren't they? But if I can sweep around their side, that might not necessarily matter. Send the Jaegers to reinforce that. Yes, let's have a go. Good, you're getting through. Send one of those up. Send one of the Jaegers up as well. Other Jaegers will support the push. We did finally get pushed back there, but I should be able to reverse that without too much problem, I'm hoping. Well, never mind. That maneuver was blocked off very quickly, but there might be another option. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to just make the tiniest bit of an advance here, and it is certainly like pulling teeth, isn't it? Right, retreat the Jaegers. They're taking up too much from my supply. How are we doing in the south? Nothing's about to break. Good. Right, God, I want to just snip off... I want to snip off a little bit of them, because I am cutting off so much supplies right now. So I'm sitting right on top of their primary supply lines. But I'm also really worried about how fucking thin this salient is. Let's try to make this salient a little bit less risque looking, shall we? Whilst we continue to drag our face slowly and painfully across the enemy's defenses. Okay, nice, nice. That is a valuable breakthrough. Right, Brandenburgers, if you can capitulate on this. Nice, okay. We've got ourselves a nice one here, I think. Okay, immediately begin spoiling attacks. Do not allow the enemy to relocate out of this little mini pocket we've created. Crush, crush. Now, for a moment, no, I fucked it up. Beard, no knowledge of Friese's, Arch confirmed not Latinx. Oh, it's the Dragon Ball one. Oh god, I've been neglecting my research. Now that you mentioned that, I got it. It just took me a little while. That's all. And Beard, again, Equestria is like a steam engine. Slow to start, but hard to stop. Once it's going, you need to go a lot faster. Now it's going to be a hard war drive. Oh yeah, that's why I waited until like 2013, because I want the long war. I want the long war. As much as this is painful, I kind of enjoy this. Right, let's keep unlocking stuff. This is Hearts of Iron at its best, in my opinion, when you are just brutally driving your way through just the worst kind of massive enemy defenses. This is this is Hearts of Iron at its absolute finest right here. Right, we can keep up the advance for a little while longer. Let's get motorized units. How's the third Heeresgruppe? It's still training. Right. Have we reestablished the front line? We have. Lovely, lovely. And the enemy has stopped attacking me. Probably because they realize that they're running out of a fair few resources of their own right now. Right. 3rd and 2nd Panzers. Help out in closing that little pocket. Try and start closing stuff, are they? Well, I'm not going to let you. God, I wish I could break off enough panzers for a quick thrust south right now, actually. Right, what do we need? I do need to start working on radar and augmented fire control and naval stuff. The Kriegsmarine. Do I want to reveal intel right now? How are my spying operations going? We're capturing ciphers, so yes. Let's reveal intel for the next 30 days. Get ourselves a nice big advantage. This is a dangerously thin frontline salient, isn't it? Yes, yes, it motherfucking is. Alright, good. Infantry can start replacing the motorized units. Well, I mean, that is one way to play against it, sure. Boom. Nice. That was 67,000 more ponies in that little surround up there. Very nice. Right, cancel that attack. Love this song too. Granted, it's about Swedish people, which I don't like, but yeah, that's good enough. Good enough for general government work. Alright, Panzers, supported by the Brandenburger Commando. You go replace those. Jaegers, let's have you start making your way to the front line. They're definitely redeploying to counter the breakthroughs, so I'm not going to get anywhere near the mass captures I was sort of kind of hoping for, but... Right, infiltrate Equestria. What does this give me? So they'd give me new operations. Scout the northwestern infrastructure. Can you evaluate the rivers that we will encounter, and maybe it might give us some advantage to push deeper into the Equestrian homeland. But what does that do, though? What does that do, though? Country-specific bonuses 15. What does do, though? I have no idea. Huh. Okay, well, since I don't actually know what that stuff does, I think I'll focus back in on something a little bit more economy-oriented then, for the immediate time being. What would that be? Infrastructure would kind of be nice, but... Implement a continuous war plan. Oh, that's right. I had a continuous war plan. I needed to actually upgrade to war economy, didn't I? Okay. Equestria is going to need more than local police forces. Let's try secret police, at least. I forgot about going for the war economy. Damn it. While some within the Hive speak out against the current war and the toll it's taken on our population, they matter little. We must be prepared to wage war indefinitely until victory is finally achieved. I like it. Consumer good factories minus 20, Jesus. Weekly stability minus 10. Weekly war support minus 0.10. I can probably deal with that, I think. Resettlement of pony workers. Oh, okay, interesting. Enslave the ponies? I do like the idea of enslaving the ponies. But I'll do that one first. Because factory output plus 10% would be very nice right about now. Very nice. As I guarantee you, my small arms is taking a pounding during all of this. I mean, their small arms are taking a significantly larger pounding. No. Alright, well, that's going to be a problem, because I'm pretty sure the polar bears are going to get their asses kicked, and that's going to open up the northern front. Oh boy, imagine that. That's what we call not a good thing. That's what we call actually a relatively solid through and through bad thing, actually. Fucking marshes. I do hate marshes. Alright, hold there. Let's move you. Riggers. Supply situation is getting to be somewhat non-ideal. Tanks. Tanks. Let's try and get a path through. I mean, I am beating the absolute living life shit out of their organization with my offense here. All that focus on artillery sure does work out pretty well, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does indeed. Right. And let's try if we can make maybe a tiny little baby pocket right there. Yes, a tiny little baby pocket would be perfect. Tiny little baby pocket. And is that the next supply step? It is. Can I get there? Probably not. Nope, definitely not. Right, focus on breaking through there then. Hey, it'll be a death by 1,000 cuts. It's going to be a slow conquest. But a conquest does not need to be quick to be virtuous. Conquest, in and of itself, by its very existence, is a virtuous act. This is very important to understand. Although, well, speed does have its advantages, one can hardly deny. Get in there, little tanks. There you go. One of the advantages, for example, being the opportunity to capture yet more equestrian slaves. Supply situation is getting strained. Right, how is the connection? The connection is awful. Right, build that up immediately. Build another connection up there. Yes, that is the problem right there. Prioritize infrastructure above all else. Our spearhead is not going to be moving forward effectively unless we can feed it. And we are winning complete dominance in the air. Very nice. If we can't crush the enemy on the ground, we can crush them in the air. Okay, pull back one of the panzers. Jägers, continue your advances. They might be light infantry, but they're the best assault infantry I have at the moment. I feel like they probably don't appreciate being utilized as assault infantry. It reminds me of that awesome series, what was its name? There was a really, really great series that only got like one season, and it's an absolute crime. Generation Kill, that was it. Generation Kill was such a good show, as it covered basically a light recon unit with Humvees that were constantly asked to do ridiculous things, like strongpoint cities or attack armored brigades and shit like that. And, since they were just regular grunts, they kind of just had to, fucking shut up and do it. That was a great series. Man, that was a great series. I cannot believe that stuff like that ended after, like, one season. Meanwhile, I guarantee you Batman Caped Crusader, Caped Violator of everything that is Batman, is probably going to be going on for the next 15 decades. Ugh. Hate it. Hate it a lot. That's another 84,000 equestrians sent off to prisoner of war camps. I'm still not sure how the fuck I'm going to break through anything else, but... At Leave one behind there. And maybe... we try a cheeky little thrust. The third Hasgupper is almost ready for action. Thank fuck for that. I might need it. How's the war on the sea going? Am I still losing? Right, let's... just... I know that. What? Oh, you're down to, oh, no, yeah. Okay. So, you are going to be patrolling... these two areas. And Strike Force will still be the same. I'm surprised my naval forces haven't been annihilated yet. I'm quite happy with it, actually. Quite enjoy that. Oh, maybe? 32, maybe. Maybe I could sneak a smash through there, actually. Supplies, though. Supplies. God help me. What about... well, if you can keep them from reinforcing, that might still be worth it. Alright, my dear Brandenburgers. Keep going. Yeah, that is not going to work out for you at all, is it? No, it is not. Alright, well, if I can get through there, which I probably can... yes, I can. Okay, cancel that attack. Leave 3 Jaegers behind. Send another one up there. And... even Roland wounded. Ach. Sie ist nicht Sohn. I butchered that one. I know. I butchered that one and I understand. But don't yell at me. Evan, you're kind of like my big boy commander here, buddy. You kind of don't get to get wounded. I need you. Kind of badly. Kind of awfully badly, actually. Oh boy. Dual fire control system. Might as well. So Jard, GARM has imploded after Musk and Rumble threatened them with antitrust lawsuit. GARM, the censorship arm of the WEF Witcher. Have they now? Come on. Yes. Come on. Okay. We're getting this. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Well, we were getting somewhere, and then the mass enemy spoiling attack started. It's going to force me to do a mass spoiling attack too. Right. Keep the panzers advancing if I can only get them in there. We are doing... okay, ballsy time. Ballsy time. Come on. Come on. Smash the part, those little shits. There you are. This is a thin fucking surround that is being built here. But it's the, it's probably one of the best ones I've had in a while. Which is a sad thing to admit. Come on. Okay, shit. Going to need a spoiling attack there. This is going to be expensive. I'm sorry, you are going to take significant casualties attacking across a fucking river into 5 times your numbers, but you gotta keep the enemy busy. It's the life of a soldier. You are going to die a horrible screaming death, and that is just simply how it's gonna have to be on occasion. I know. More radar. Power Wolf. The powerful wolf. The wolf of power. In the name of God, we go to heaven. Or Equestria. Whichever one we reach first. Pocket. Pocket. I do love pocket. Pocket is best kind of pocket, right? Crush.
Pause not, my beautiful panzers. Remember the words of your wounded leader. The engine is the panzer's primary weapon. The cannon, a mere decoration. And occasionally something that makes loud noises. Occasionally. Alright, let's not risk that. Gott mit uns! Fun fact, that was written on the belt buckle of all the German soldiers, Gott mit uns. Because the Germans were, they were a nice and religious bunch. They believed that what they were doing was the correct thing to do in the name of Gott. And, I mean, hey, who can say that they were wrong? Besides history, and I suppose, and the fact that they lost the war and all that. That can by many be seen as a convincing argument that they did indeed not have Gott on their side. Then again, I would be swift to point out that a lot of armies that also claim to have Gott on their side also won occasionally, so we should be careful about drawing too many conclusions about such things. Gott is a difficult son of a bitch on occasion. He changes his mind frequently and can often be remarkably uncooperative. It is one of the difficult parts about that Gott fellow. Right, more air superiority. God, the trade is very good, but there are so many enemy aircraft. Right, good. There we go. I love the idea, too, of the Changelings doing this. Like this army of these night black little monstrous insect creatures with vampire teeth storming across the terrain with fucking tanks and, you know, motorized vehicles by the thousands invading Equestria. It's a beautiful nightmare scenario, isn't it? And I do love it. I do love it so. Imagine being the Equestrians. Like, this is a particularly dark episode of My Little Fucking Pony, I guarantee you that much. Boy, how are you? You finally ready? Oh, thank Jesus. Okay. Right. What do we do with 24 free divisions? Good question. What do we do with 24 free divisions? Well, I think half of them is dedicated down here immediately, but the remaining 12... I wonder if there isn't something that could be done down here. I wonder if that's intelligent, though. Because that will draw equestrian reinforcements away from the northern pincer, which already I feel like our potential reward is growing a little slim up here, because they are beginning to move more and more forces out of the way. And I don't know if just infantry is going to be doing the trick down here. Yeah, we'll move them to Purifa for now and keep them in reserve until we can free up enough panzers to actually give a little bit of oomph to that maneuver. That's a lot of little ponies about to get mushed into the fucking mud there. A lot of little ponies. Lot of little ponies. I will say, it is not as satisfying to annihilate vast quantities of ponies as it is to destroy vast quantities of Soviets. That still has got to be my favorite thing to surround. Soviets. Everybody likes surrounding Soviets. It's just... it feels good, you know? There's something inherently rewarding in the act of encircling a bunch of little Soviet divisions, then Kesselschlachting them to the ground for the umpteenth time. It never gets old, somehow. Oof, okay, front line is starting to look a little bit shaky again. I really don't want them to be able to relieve this group here. Do I have any reserves? I fucking do now. Alright, 4 divisions.
154th, 129th, 35th, and 198th. Move to the front line immediately, please. And we'll move you back, because you are getting surrounded up there. Come on. Not that much left. Few more divisions, and we'll have crushed this pocket of filthy, dirty, harmonious pony resistance. Engineer company? No, we need to start working on cruiser killers and battleships. Alright, more wins. Very surprised by the lack of proper resistance from the, I was about to say Aquilonian Navy. You know, a Conan game. Oh, God. Europa Universalis Conan. Oh, that would be so much fun. That would be fucking amazeballs. I would love that. That would be so awesome. Sadly, we are unlikely to see that anytime soon, but Europa Universalis Conan would be pretty goddamn amazing. Right, we need Evergreen. I have to seize Evergreen before I need to worry about almost anything else. Evergreen has to be seized. We are going to need to start peeling things off the front line here, though. We need Evergreen because it is the supply area. Alright, they're gonna do some spoiling attacks. That's sort of fine. Well, I wish they'd been using the other units for it, but... Alright. Let's get a two-front attack up at least. Have the panzers thrown in from the side. Pull the Jaegers back for reforming. Radar augments. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. And... cruiser killers. Raiding shipyard? Probably a better one. Right. That... taking that is going to be a little bit annoying. Is it? Yes, it's still in range. Okay, good. Luckily, the aerial, fighting areas are pretty generous, thank God. I'm not getting through here, am I? No. No, I don't think so. But I need it, so I gotta get through there. Take that. One Panzer division to take on all of that? Yeah, maybe. Right, infantry. We've got more of you now. We've got 3 divisions. They're going to take up a little bit less supply as well. Alright, infantry. I need to be very circumspect with how many units I send up there, though. For a little while longer. How's the production going? Nicely. Okay. Right, I should actually remember to do the thing I was saying I was going to do. So, total mobilization or war economy. Recruitable population -3. No. A war economy it is then. I am going to require every last little changeling. I cannot afford to put them in the factories. That will ruin me a lot quicker than a lack of weaponry. I guarantee you that. I can keep fighting without guns, so long as I have people to throw at the front line, but if I run out of dudes, it will not matter how many guns I have, as that will be, in essence, in complete and utter irrelevancy in the face of the simple fact that the enemy still have dudes with clubs and sticks. Right, 3 fronts attacking. That, God willing, should be enough. And yes, I believe it will be. Right, anything else about to buckle? No, the defenses down south is doing well, and the defenses up north are doing well. How about the polar bears? The polar bears are... well, they haven't lost yet, so about as good as you can expect. We need to breed harder. Institute another breeding program. Come on. Monthly population, 15%. Up, up, up. Women, children, I don't care. Okay, maybe not the children, since we are still on YouTube. But everybody else, breed, goddammit. Breed. Angrily, aggressively, violently, assertively, submissively, if you will, so long as you breed. I don't care how you do it. It don't need to be fancy, it don't need to be nothing special. Just put it in, shake it around a little bit, squirt your goo, my dude, and there you go. That's all we need. Right, more infantry. Right, I've got 3 panzers to spare. You know, I'm thinking we can do something with those 3 panzers. Yeah, I'm thinking we can do something with those 3 panzers, because we've got 8 divisions of infantry standing by as well. Right, time to give the enemy something else to worry about for a little moment or two. Right, the war in the sky continues largely in my favor. Good, good. My bombers are... actually, they're not getting their shit kicked in anywhere near as bad as I was expecting. I was fearing to look back and see that my 500 had been reduced to like 300 or something, but no, they're actually not doing too shabby, are they? Right. Fuck it, let's scout infrastructure. I don't know what this does, but yeah. It's only 1 agent. Go ahead, do it. Plant false intelligence. I don't even know what that would do. I have no idea what that would do. Infiltrate Equestria. Disorder among their ranks and operations. Sure. Rest maintained the system. Right, I think it's time to break Equestria's cryptography yet again. This was actually a genuine military concern, by the way. You might think it's a little bit of a weird idea, like, what do you mean you can, like, choose to break the encryption or something? Wouldn't you want to break the encryption constantly all the time? No, because there was a lot of like low-level information, like hints and things that would come through that the Allies didn't actually want the Germans or the Japanese or whatever to know that they had broken their encryption, because the moment the Germans and their allies, the Japanese, knew that, they would of course start changing their encryption. So it was a delicate balance of trying to get as much out of the enemy cipher being broken without making it obvious to the enemy that their cipher was indeed broken. A delicate balance it was. A more elegant weapon for a more elegant time, unlike the piece of shit universe we live in now. Right, do I want to go a full rush to Van Hoover? I kind of do, but I don't have the speed to really pull that off here. for now, let's make our way to Salt Lake City. Right, and do I have any... I do have like 4 units of motorized here. No, I think you can go over there now. And you guys as well can join this advance too, which I believe will allow me to hold up until that point. Right, that'll give the ponies something else to worry about, whilst we commence a proper push now to try and secure the northern operation. As we now have access to another supply hub, which will be upgraded ASAP, and supplies are finally beginning to flood in here now that the lines are fully upgraded. Excellent, excellent, my dear little darlings. My dear little happy critters. Alright. Quebec, of course. Not Quebec, Quebec, duh, of course, obviously, Quebec. What was I even thinking? That should be the next objective. It's been a while since I've actually been able to do a bit of an actual armored push, so let's try that out. 43. Odds not amazing. Right, some spoiling attacks. Right, I am going to be optimistic here and hope that this will finally be the one that actually smashes through. So we are going to give long-term move orders in the hope of just zooming on past anything that stands in our way. Is that optimistic? Yes, but the enemy is going to be distracted by our operations to the south, so... I feel like it is a risk worth taking. Right. Supply situation here is going to be absolutely fucking garbage very, very quickly. I do have... Yes, I do have max motorized. The narrowness of the advance is going to be the biggest problem here, which we will be able to deal with at least a little bit fairly quickly. So as to pass more trucks by. Come on. Straight through. Good boys. Fire control computers. Right. What do we need? We need guns. Guns. A battleship without guns is, well, not much of a battleship, really. So let's get moving on armor piercing. No, we don't need to do that. In fact, I can get myself another Air Force thingy now. Yay! More ground support, because if the enemy cannot be annihilated from the air alone, then why even bother? Yes. We need to arrive at the point where the mere presence of our aircrafts is an existential threat to the enemy's formations. That is the point I wish to arrive at, and that is the point that, by God, I will arrive at. Sooner or later. We need to teach the enemy that if they see a shadow above them, then there is no point in trying to run or hide. They are already dead, and the only question now is if they're going to die tired or not. Bit worried by the slowdown in the advance here. Very worried, in fact. Okay, halt that. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do a full-fledged breakthrough immediately. Too much strain on the supply system. We'll have to widen the front line a little bit, as will we have to do the same here. Continue to widen our base. Right. I could have pushed more aggressively here, actually. One. And we're gonna hold there. And the Jaegers push in there. I doubt this is gonna work, but it might. Go on, little man. Let's see if we can get over there before the enemy can react. Oh, that does actually leave Salt Lake unguarded. Let's not do that, but I will happily chase off that little pony there. Let's continue expanding the front. Just keep the filthy little ponies busy, busy, busy. The more they're busy fighting somewhere else, the more threats they think are currently bothering them, the better. Safe ponies are the worst kind of ponies. We need scared ponies. Ponies fleeing for their lives, screaming, pissing themselves, shitting themselves if absolutely necessary. Is our ponies pissing themselves up here? Sort of. You advance towards Playbuck. Continue, 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 continue. Okay, not as successful as initially over-optimistically hoped for, but not bad. Right, do we continue straight ahead there? No, we bring those in like this. Right, are we getting across that river? We are, actually. I'm a little bit surprised, but hey. Fine and fair. Yep, keep bringing in the panzers. Lovely. Okay, okay. This is very, very promising. Panzers will advance directly to Van Hoover. The motorized elements will take care of holding the pocket open. And infantry, keep harassing them in case they try to leave. Not going to be the biggest pocket by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to be a valuable little pocket. Fuck. Marshes. God, I do hate marshes. I do hate marshes something tremendous. They really should drain the swamp around here. They really, really, really should have. Well, keep pushing with this much. Still not. God, the fucking impact marchers have on offensives are just disgusting. Reminds me of that middle portion of the Soviet Union. Ugh. Shit. God damn it. Okay, never mind the tanks. Switch the tanks up northwards. Leave 4 motorized divisions. And let's see if the infantry's got better luck. Bring up the Jaegers. Right, once they finish the swing. God damn it. More little bastards here. I need to finish this round sooner rather than later due to the obvious problems of the supply situation. The very, very obvious problems of the supply situation. In that the supply situation is fucking dire. Right, but we did get over there. Okay, if I can just close that then, everything will be pretty good. Let's get more infantry in. It's getting dangerous. Don't like it. Don't like it. We do have a flight plan here, though, if necessary. And the pocket is now complete, relatively speaking. Okay, nothing fancy, boys. Simply start pushing forward to secure everything. That's all I'm gonna need of you. Okay, what about up here then? The tanks relocated themselves? The tanks have not relocated themselves as they are constantly being attacked by this bunch of little shits up here. Right. Come on, tankies. I require you to go north. What are your odds there? Awful. $57. Fucking marshes. Alright, well, with those two... Okay, right. Closed. Nice. Lovely. Close faster. Let's just make doubly sure. That was closer than it should have been, honestly. That was perhaps a bit overzealous. Right, that's fine. If that collapses, that's okay, because we've just closed that off. Oh boy, Rumble Eggs 623. Unless your Japan never really catch on that your codes are broken, even after Midway and Yamato getting killed. Oh yes, the Yamato assassination really should kind of have been the wake-up call, but... Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? What appears obvious to some does not appear obvious to others. The Japanese were simply too assured of their own absolute superiority that they could never imagine that the silly Americans could have outplayed them and assassinated Yamamoto. There was also the fact that the Japanese did not view Yamamoto as important a target as the Americans did either. So they obviously saw his assassination, which is what it was, or his honorable deathu in battle, as an unfortunate thing, but they never really truly suspected, you know, foul play there, despite, again, the, in retrospect, obvious nature of it. Commander Wolf, I would be down for a Fable 4 or just a PC release of 3 on GOT or Steam, Rattenreich tomorrow's stream. I believe that comes out tomorrow, yes, so yes. That will be done tomorrow then. Right, we'll have to give that game a quick little look. Right, how is the... Right, supplies. I would like to take White Bell. I would really like to take White Bell. How's the infrastructure? Good, nice, okay. Nice, okay, well that infrastructure is terrible. Okay, start working on the infrastructure. Let's see, so we've got 2 divisions there, 2 divisions there, 2 divisions there. That place is kind of awful. We'll need to leave 4 divisions there. 2 divisions, 2 divisions. And we'll see if we can't free up enough to take White Bell. Now, securing another supply zone would be pretty great. Quebec. These fucking marshes. Quebec is the bane of my existence, as it turns out. These god-awful marshes. God-awful marshes indeed. I don't really have any reserves to move in there either, frankly. Fine, we'll do a little bit of a risk and move in some more Jaegers. And we'll transfer the motorized elements more or less completely. Just leaving a few behind as emergencies. And hello there, though. Is there nothing... If only I could fucking get through there. Screw it. At this point, something is better than nothing. Let's just try to cut off the northern portion of the Crystal Kingdom, at least. It's not going to be quite the victory I was hoping for, but it will be a victory, and it will be a pretty solid one. Presuming I can secure it. That's a lot of stuff you're throwing at me there. Do I want to throw some stuff at you in return? I think I do. Right, come on. Hold out. Air power is not in support anymore. Right, okay, that needs to change. Right, we need to stretch the bombers out further. We do not need this many bombers down here. Let's relocate 100 bombers there and 100 bombers there. And the majority of the enemy air force is still right there. Right, 200 fighters. How about the 400 I deployed? They are ready. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, send 200 fighters into that area to cover Van Hoover. And the other 200 into the ginormous, continuous, massive fuck-off air brawl that has been raging over Featherfell Dale this entire time. Right, have we... So there's 6 divisions there, that's probably a bit much. But I will keep 4. You two get over there. Right, tanks. We want you to go take White Bell. We're not going to try anything fancy here. No fancy pound surrounds or creations of pockets. We're just going to take it. That's all. That is all. Nice and simple. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, nothing out of the usual. Just a nice and simplistic seizure of terrain. Right. Kessel created. Time to begin squeezing before the enemy realizes what is happening to them. And start perhaps considering a mass breakout attempt. Oh, yeah. Shoes on the other foot now. Hey, silly little Crystal Kingdom bastards. Yes, I do believe so. Okay, immediately get reinforcements heading up there. We are going to need them. Have you weakened your hold here, sir? Not a whole lot, no, but perhaps... enough for me to inconvenience you? Yes, I think enough for me to inconvenience you quite severely, actually. Brilliant.
The northern offensive is a success. Well, let's not speak too hastily, but it's looking very good all of a sudden. I was genuinely considering giving up on the northern offensive there because that was one fuck of a slog, but things are looking up. All right, move forward, boys. Again, nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just seize the terrain in front of you. Ah, that's... Apparently we're not getting through there. Can you... No, that is an ocean. That is 5 divisions. Stop doing the pausey thing, you dumb little thing. Oh, right. National focuses. Form pony work battalions. Ooh. Pony work battalions? I do like the sound of pony work battalions, but do I have... Yeah, I do have some... Yes. I do like the sound of pony work battalions, but I do like the sound of rocket tests as well. Hold on. Am I kept up with the rocketry? Right. I do like the idea of some V1 rockets to bomb the Equestrians. Oh boy, see this is a concern right here though, that they are going to start just moving enough stuff northwards to be a big problem for me. Let's just buy time with whatever and everything we can, spoiling attacks up and down the front line, of course. And wherever possible, continue squeezing the front line. After all, if there is nothing to relieve, the enemy will not be able to relieve them, now will they? Good boys. Forward, my hordes of beautiful little black carapaced changelings. Step on them. Step on the little ponies' necks. They have oppressed you for far too long. They have kept an illegal and immoral monopoly on love. And we are going to redistribute their love via force. Redistributive, breeding rights? Redistributive breeding rights? Yeah, redistributive breeding rights. That's what we're working for here. Redistributive breeding rights. I like the sound of it. It sounds appropriately... I don't know. Assertive? Yeah. Yeah, I like assertive as a word to describe the redistribution of breeding rights. Assertive, yes. All good breeding actions are, of course, also, as we know, assertive in nature, automatically. In nature, this is actually true. I'm not going to back down from this. I've actually happened across a truism here. Virtually all redistributive breeding practices in nature are assertive. You have never seen a lion go up to a female lion and go like, please, could we just a little bit? No. You only ever see the lion violently abuse the female. That is the only thing. And surely, if nature is correct, if we must return to nature, then this is one of the elements of nature that we are going to have to begin replicating. For better or worse. It is going to cause some short-term problems, I'm certain, but once we all get used to this form of redistributive justice, I do believe that we will come to understand that it is, at the end of the day, better for all of us. Yes. The women might object, but hey, remember the last times the women protested for something? They wanted the right to vote. How has that worked out? Are we sure we wish to give the women what they want again? Are we certain this is a wise and carefully considered idea and option of ours? I'm not so certain. Squish. Speaking of Squish, I have been neglecting this, haven't I? Yes, I have. To my detriment. Need White Bell. Need White Bell bad, but... not have enough dudes. Not have enough dudes. Okay, we can probably get that, and we probably can't get that. Right, need White Bell. Need White Bell bad. Will inconvenience enemy supply enormously. Good, good. Happiness. Let's give it that another go. You tank, you go up there. You go to White Bell. There. And the Northern Offensive is, I think we can declare it officially now, a success. It took like 6 months to get here, but the final surround operation has been successfully completed at the cost of some 200,000 Equestrian and Crystal Kingdom troops, along with the capture of a truly remarkable quantity of stuff. And we do ever so like stuff, don't we? We do like stuff. Who doesn't like stuff? Free stuff in particular. Ooh. Animate Acumen. Women just want you to be able to say no to them. Is that all women want? God damn it, you got in my way, didn't you? Why did you do this to me? The supply situation is so fucking horrible. I'm not even that far away from... well, actually, no, I am pretty far away from my front lines now that I actually look into it. Yeah, that is a decent odd distance, isn't it? No supply line from the capital. You sure about that? I figured you would have a connection by now. You do, but you're damaged. Okay. Now, let's just also connect that. Boy. All right. That is a decent start. Don't continue. Let's get that province instead. We are going to need to re-aim ourselves.
Fire is the answer.
Now that the north has been captured, we are going to need to reposition quite a bit,
Heresy's the question.
as the enemy
Fire
doesn't
is
want
the
to lose
answer.
access to their supply region. Oh, also, I don't have air support here. Let's have air support here immediately. Right, I need more bombers. I badly need more bombers. Okay, do I have any capacity? I do, actually, yes. Right, immediately deploy 200 more bombers then. And the air war is going quite well. Okay, we have moved pretty much everything up now. Right. We shall begin the process then of getting air cover to all of the further up regions. And we're going to need to be rebuilding quite a bit of airfields, I'm thinking, after all of that. Right. I need to reorganize all of you lads. The militia forces can largely remain in the north.
the armor, the Jaegers, and everything else will need to be repositioned. Goddamn little equestrians, I really need White Bell. Why won't you let me take White Bell? I need White Bell because without White Bell, I'm gonna have a very hard time supplying my dudes. Right, if you're gonna be a bother about this, I'm gonna be a bother about you. You think you're the only one who can launch random offensives? Think again. I think Van Hoover looks ready for the taking, actually, now that I look at it. Yes, I think Van Hoover looks very clear and ready for the taking. Ready for the impregnating. Van Hoover is clearly begging to be impregnated. See, you shouldn't have done that, now should you? Launching random offensives like that only provokes me, frankly. And then look what happens. Then you lose all kinds of land because you didn't really have the stuff to keep all of that up, now did you? Granted, I feel like that is a critique that could be launched towards me as well, but hey. The fall of Van Hoover. A good start for the Changelings. Ah, yes. We've just started, you see. This is merely the beginning. We haven't even gotten that far yet, which, to be fair, is actually true. We haven't actually gotten that far yet. Oh boy. Sentinel Rex, I find myself agreeing more with Arch every day. This man never misses, whether it's politics, gaming, or redistributive breeding. I can find no fault. Neither can I. Fortress Battleship. Yes. Big boy battleship. Free dockyards, you say? Really? Oh. I'm starting to run out of submachine guns. Yep, I'm gonna need to start reorganizing more into small arms here. Definitely. Alright, we've got 140 heavy tanks, which is something. Alright, Queen's Guard. I only have one of you. You are going to be transformed. We are going to make you magical infantry, first and foremost. And you are going to be a heavy tank unit. Actually, hold on. That's not right. We're going to make you magical mechanized infantry. Even better. 200 mechanized, 120 tanks. That's
guarantees citizenship.
Probably with me in my ability to do. Infiltrated company, obviously. Logistics company. And field hospital. It is also going to require combat support elements, which I will want to make armored eventually, but this will do for now. And it's going to be a rather major rework. Alright, we'll bring that down to a measly 2, so I can increase battle rifle and artillery production. Tanks are staying steady at the same amount of production as it always has been, which is good. I am going to need to focus entirely in on military production, though, because I've got to start making up for the shortfalls here. As the infantry has taken some serious goddamn casualties doing all of this. I'm going to need to produce a hell of a lot more to keep up with it. On the upside, I can guarantee you that Equestria is suffering just about as badly. Right, how is the ciphering thing going? How is the ciphering thing going? The ciphering thing is taking a long-ass time. Alright. we shall capture their cipher again then. Because that is useful. And, does that leave me with enough to maybe capture her? No, it does not. No, it does not. We shall plant some false intelligence then, maybe. Or no, it doesn't leave me with enough, because all of them are... Are they? So that's 2 people. Yeah, I should have, Oh no, 2 people already... No, 2 people... Yeah, no. I was thinking weird, that was all. 728,000 manpower, so we've shed about 100,000 so far. How is the occupied territories? 7% on local police force there. Let's make it secret police. And we are going to need... Still increasing over here, huh? 9%. I don't like it. Military governor it is then.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the
And
answer.
123 pony power lost these last 12 months. Not bad, actually. That is not terrible. That is a lot less than I was fearing. That is a lot less than I was kind of fearing, because the expansion where they added in, like, the uprising mechanic, as much as I like the idea of it, it is a terribly implemented mechanic, an awfully implemented mechanic, which means that you will bleed harder from your fucking occupational forces than you will at the front line, which I do not believe is entirely realistic, frankly. In fact, I think that is outright fucking retarded and ridiculous, but oh fucking well. I need to get White Bell. Right, what we're gonna do is we are simply just going to deploy a nice little force of rested units from the northern front lines. And just try to go for it, basically. Any spoiling attacks I could do? Yeah, there is. I don't necessarily want to extend the front line anymore, honestly, but I want to give them something else to think about other than defending White Bell, which is of absolute decisive import. Right, pull you back, free up as much supplies as I possibly can. And we're gonna keep pushing down here. Again, just trying to espionage in Equestria, just trying to pull off away as much as we can. Okay, you're gotten dealt with. Okay, we've actually got supplies now. Good. Move you out, move you in. Espionage in Equestria. Vaspir on Cladison. Oh, actually, whilst I'm reading this, Mechanics on duty asks, speaking of casualties, can we see the numbers? You can indeed. Let's see the Great War. There we are. And Bear Beard, the woman's suffrage and its consequences has been a disaster for mankind. Yes, it has. There you get to see the casualties. 2.56 million. I was not lying to you when I said that Equestria had a ridiculous standing army, was I? Espionage in Equestria.
Vaspir Orn Cladisum paced around his desk, a lit cigarette hanging from his lips. Held in his magic before him were several plain folders which he opened and looked through one after the other. Early feelers from the first wave of infiltrators sent into the country had identified several weaknesses within the Equestrian state, ranging from things as simple as factory overseers to levels all the way up to the highest order of government. Though the Equestrians were wary of Changeling infiltration owing to the world situation and the failed attack on Canterlot in 1002, they had yet to close off any ways for Vops to get a hoof inside of the nation. That would be their undoing. Vaspir set the folders aside and pulled up his roster of agents on standby. The greatest strength of the Changeling race was their ability to shapeshift into almost any form, but the average Changeling had limits to that ability. Without training, a form could only be assumed for so long, and the impersonation could be imperfect. Those familiar with the individual being impersonated would soon sniff out the falsehood standing before them, but the infiltrators of the Vops were the best of the best, each extensively trained to perfection, to perfectly impersonate a target. Relentlessly drilled for weeks on every detail and habit of their assumed likeness, these infiltrators Vaspir would release en masse into Equestria, with perfectly placed spies throughout the Equestrian army. The resulting chaos and confusion would soon make it impossible for them to resist the swarm. Vaspir let his cigarette burn out, then squashed it in an ashtray. Soon, Equestria, just like the cigarette, would be snuffed out. I still don't know what that does, but I hope it does something awful to them. Speaking of awful, capture cipher, completed. And we've got that in preparations. Okay, now we can do something else. I do like stealing blueprints, so let's do that. Make sure to maintain the spy network, of course. Are you thinking you shall stop me? Silly little ponies, you will not. Right, and this also needs to be fully motorized, of course. Right, and frontline stuff, right. That let's level up to 4, good. Good, okay. Right. White Bell. For the umpteenth bloody bleeding time. Right, spoiling attacks. You gonna move troops in there? I'd kind of welcome it if you did, honestly. And most of their troops are just north of the objective right now. Okay. We'll move those in there. That will send in reinforcements, which is good. Wait for them to be engaged. Then let's try to thrust on in. Come on. Rush them down. Whilst we have forces available. Come on. Break, you little fucking phony pieces of shit. I really need you to just get out of the way already. I really need you to just move. Yes. There we go. Now who's in shit supply, huh? Now who's in shit fucking supply? Not me anymore. Maybe there's even an opportunity here for... Do I want to be that aggressive? Move back the tanks. They're eating too much supply. But let's see what a cheeky little thrust might be able to do. A cheeky little thrust.
A cheeky thrust may achieve remarkable things. You do not know until you attempt to thrust. A cheeky thrust. A cheeky little thrust. Alright, let's not allow you to do that. Fuck. Too much shit being thrown my way. But the cheeky little thrust does not necessarily require that area. The cheeky little thrust is not gonna happen. No supplies. I need to concentrate on actually just securing this place. Now that I finally have it, more or less. Fall back. Bring the motorized back as well. Okay, we just need to hold it. I don't need another fancy surround. That's not the key point here. That's not what I must achieve. I just need to hold with White Bell to finally get a hold of the goddamn supply situation here. That's what's important. As long as I get the supplies, everything else is pretty much secondary. To do that, though, we are going to mount a couple more spoiling attacks just to make sure. But with that in my hands, the next phase of the operation should be ready. I did do a thing, didn't I? Yes, rocket test. Okay. Right, is there anything else I can reassign, I wonder, as I'm going to need a lot more support equipment, a lot more cannons, a lot more actually just everything. I've got 61 trains, but I can only reassign one factory there. I really do not want to reduce the production of aircraft. I guess I could reduce the construction of those. One heavy tank factory. Yeah, and the rest is just gonna have to be building factories. Yep, I just need to get the industry to be able to catch up with everything else, as I think now is going to be a time where I sit back for a brief little moment, rearm, resupply a little bit, and get the supply line set back up again. We haven't moved deep into Equestria. We have not, but the casualties we've inflicted, almost 6 million, are very, very, very telling. And you can already see on the equestrian units, they too are running out of gear, as fast and probably faster than I am. So whilst my supply situation is far from perfect, theirs is near guaranteeably a hell of a lot worse than mine. Speaking of, are you guys fully supplied? No, you still need artillery, etc. But this will be a nice little unit once it receives all of its gear. A nice line breaker. A true example of the Queen's Guard. And do I need as many Opal Blitzes as I do? How many Opal Blitzes do I have stored away, if any? None? Of 2,400 trucks. Okay, that's fine. We can reassign a couple more to artillery cannons then. And the Panzer Division should still be doing fairly well. Right, railway guns. I would like to get you at some point. It isn't gonna happen anytime soon. But one day you will be mine. Alright, how far until these things become actually up and running again? I should have gotten those pony power repair thingies because there's apparently a ridiculous amount of sabotage going on behind my front line. Plus 14, Jesus Christ, still? Okay. So, secret police is not good enough. Martial law, then? Okay, fine. Martial law it is. Surely that'll be enough. I'm gonna need counterintelligence. Or not counterintelligence, root out resistance. Right, we're gonna focus in on rooting out resistance, because the resistance right now is actually proving to be a significantly larger problem than the enemy's armies are. So that is going to need a quick fix. And then get the pony labor battalions. And hey, if the ponies want to blow shit up, it's only right that the ponies are the ones to fix them again, right? I think there's a certain justice in that. A certain justice indeed. At least they pretty much get repaired on a daily basis, so... Not as bad as it could be, but still annoying. Exhort heroism. Any way I can suppress the population. No? Tragic. Tragic indeed. Did I get both of the things with the, No, I didn't. Yes, anti-partisan. Immediately. And pony work battalions. Crush the ponies, crush their will to resist, crush their spirits, crush their little noses. Anything and everything, just crush it, regardless of what it is. Naval mission efficiency, interceptor bombing. Okay, I don't actually need any of this. This is of no pressing concern. Might as well unlock it, I guess. And naval doctrine, convoy sailing. Not that I'm really doing much in the way of convoys either, for that matter, but still. And okay, that already moved. Very nice. Alright, the air war continues apace, but fairly solidly in my advantage. Although I could afford to remove a lot more troops up now. Okay, let's get more, since I don't need to waste 600 machines in this area. This is going to require a fairly major reorganization. Right, so there's 300 there. We'll have air superiority. We'll have equilibrium most of the other places. I'm starting to take casualties now, though, so I need to move up the radar installations, which are not covering as well anymore. More radars. Right, once we start getting parity, there we go. There we go, that's the casualty swinging back in a bit more of a functional direction again. Right, if there's not going to be any enemy aircraft here, there's no reason to have any fighters there. There we go. That's more like it. 2-1. And the supply situation is fixed. Beautiful. Even as the enemy continues to suffer attrition. I'm quite happy with this so far. This is not going too poorly. We have managed to create 2 large pockets. We have taken casualties, to be sure. But with the increased manufacturing capacity, we should be able to begin catching back up on small arms production. I'm gonna need more improved anti-tank rifles as well, though. And more everything, really. 'Cause that is going to be the biggest problem. Problem. I could probably cut down the bomber production, as I've probably got enough in most of the areas where it matters. Right, yes, we can cut down a bit on bomber production as well. 75 a day, that should be probably close to, what, 300 a day produced, once the production efficiency finally rises high enough. And we're creating 3 new fighters each day, which I don't know if that's replacement rate, but it's better than what the enemy is probably doing. Though I am looking very interested in having some more in there as well. $96 to $153. $73 to $54. I'm actually losing out in some regions, which is not great. Despite having higher everything. Right, why? Is it because I don't have enough range? No, I should have range. Alright, let's do ground crew theirs then, to even that one up. And I could potentially try to go for an upgrade for it. Nah, not necessarily just yet. Packs, production capabilities. Maintenance companies, tempting, but I don't really have the slots for it. Going for main battle tanks. What to research? What to research, actually? Could convert some civilian factories, but honestly, I've never been a fan of that. Alright, we should be getting cryptology, actually, to increase our advantage in the air. Try and reduce the bleeding there a little bit, as much as we can. As we are pretty close to replacement rate with fighters. If we can get a few more factories in there, we'll probably actually reach it. One less for tanks. And we'll cancel that one. I don't like doing that, but everything is at a fairly decent equilibrium, and the enemy is getting absolutely exhausted by their own supply situation. Right. Next stage, which will be in the next video, I think now is the time where we try to crush another large formation. We have major equestrian forces in a big unsupplied pocket here and to the south. And to the north, again, their supply situation is not very good, and I doubt they'll be able to launch any great counterattacks against me. If any at all. So I should be able to deal 2 very good blows to Equestria in the south. And then probably focus in on the Crystal City again, and the Crystal Empire. Hopefully before Stalingrad joins in, as when Stalingrad joins in, which will probably be in another year or so, I'm gonna have to kill a lot more enemy units to make sure they run out of stuff completely and utterly. In fact, let's, for shits and giggles, let's have a look. War in progress. Let's have a look at Equestria. I want to see.
Jonathan Smith, you're 5. Your thoughts about the Ukrainian Union breaking into Russia? I think they should roll up the border guards, then pull back, and then repeat forever. Well, Russia wouldn't let them do that forever, probably, but no, they should absolutely move into Russia. There's nothing wrong with it. Why the hell not? They're obviously at war. It's not like the Russian border is somehow sacrosanct at this point. The one thing they should be careful about is victimizing the Russian civilian populace, because that will actually bolster Russian resolve in a time where their resolve is actually really, really shit. And Zero Firewater, I missed that one, sorry. Since you outed yourself as a homosexual and Rivals dev, are you also going to admit your favorite drinks is a martini? No, I hate all drinks. Actually, I have done a lot more damage to them than I thought. Yeah, their army is actually looking really fucking haggard. Okay, that is happy news. I have done a lot more damage than I thought I had. Yeah. When I said that me being down like 1,000 rifles wasn't that bad, I meant it. Because, yeah, this is a brutal goddamn war on both sides, and the casualties are freaking awful. Are really awful. They do still have a really serious air force, though. But they are not replacing them anywhere near as quickly as I am. So my air superiority will continue to grow. And what about their navy? They must have a... Actually, that is not that imposing a navy, actually. I expected Equestria to have a fucking huge navy. Wait, they do! They do, they're just not using it. Okay. Classic Hearts of Iron AI, where they've actually got a pretty... Jesus Christ, they've got like 60 ships in their main war fleet. No, a hell of a lot more, good god. They've got a war fleet of 100 vessels, but... they're using them to patrol the wrong coast. I see. I see indeed. That's not very intelligent, at all. I don't like... that's probably why I'm actually losing a little bit down here, because these guys are actually gaining experience. I need to hand out my aces, because, yeah, they should not be gaining experience. If they are gaining experience, that means I'm losing in total, and that is not a good thing. $2.77 a day. Bismarck, good song. But I have absolutely fuck-stomped their armor. See, how many armor divisions do they even have left? There we go. Yeah, I figured there'd be another, like, tab. I was like, I can't possibly have destroyed that many of them. No, they do have a fair bit, but look at that. Green armor. Oh, God. Holy fuck, what an armored formation, though. All mechanized and medium tanks. Whew, baby, that is a lot heavier than my armor divisions. But, well, the problem is that they can't actually supply that many. Yeah, that's, How about mechanized forces? You're down 2,609, huh? Yeah, I think you went a little bit too heavy on the armor there, honey. A bit too heavy on the armor. God, you've got a lot of naval factories, though. And 100 military factories. Sweet baby Jesus, the fucking economy of these little shits. But I'm presuming... Yeah, a fair bit of it is actually over here, so a couple more big pockets will eventually start to strip that economic advantage away from them.
though their big defensing live down here is, you know, honestly, most of the time I find this defensive line to be an advantage for me, as I can seize it and then hold it. And the Crystal Empire is not looking great either. They pretty much put everything they've got on the front line, and it's not much, if I'm to be honest. Alright, yeah. Happy. Happy, Arch. Quite content, in fact, with the way this has gone. The first 6 months or so of the war. Major casualties, 2.5 million dead ponies, dead or captured. And the Equestrian army's out of supply, with me sitting pretty on my second line of advance. Happy, happy. But now I must prepare myself to go watch the Borderlands movie, which I have heard is quite the thing. Apparently it premiered at a 0% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, so, yeah, that's gonna be a thing. That is indeed going to be a thing. So until then, chat, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for your generous donations, as always. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Have a good night, chat.